Are you struggling to scale your sales on GoHighLevel? Without an automated pipeline, you are bleeding money and wasting hours every single week. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up an automated sales pipeline that runs on autopilot, freeing you up to do what you do best, which is closing deals. Plus, I have a snapshot right down below so you can plug this exact system into your business instantly. So if you are ready to stop losing sales, pay close attention because we're about to jump right in. The first thing I want to do is explain what this is, how this works, and what's in this snapshot. So what we're doing here is we are automating your sales pipeline, and we have a snapshot to do a lot of this. So the goal of this is to have a sales pipeline with these automations so that when someone comes into your business, it immediately puts them in here, the new lead, puts all the info you want on them, and then every time they go through a stage, it moves this automatically. It's automated. You're not having to go in to manually grab the opportunity and drag it and put this stuff in and go, okay, it's now in contact. No, wait a minute. And then you're kind of freaking out, you're confused, and it's a lot of time wasted. What you want, pipeline that is fully automated. So you can just come in and do what you do best, which is just closing deals, and everything happens automatically. This will save you an unbelievable amount of time. I created this video because so many of my students and people from YouTube were like, I'm missing out on sales. And I took a look at a lot of their sales processes and even their client sales processes. And let me tell you, they were from the dinosaur age. Like, we're talking prehistoric Jurassic Park level stuff. Like, it was so bad. Everything was manual. They didn't have proper stuff set up. In this, okay, with these automations right here, here, and here, you're getting the building blocks to automate anyone's sales pipeline. This is something, guys, I'm telling you right now, that you can do for your clients also that will keep them paying you time and time again because it's so valuable to have a sales process, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack this snapshot, okay, all of these automations and how this works, and then really show you that you can do this on any sales process, really anywhere with high level, and just save so much time. Because I'm telling you right now, a big thing too, and this is just a small thing, they don't even have their opportunities come into a pipeline. So they don't even know where their sales are at. We want to demystify that and we want to get rid of that. So the first step, okay, is unpacking this snapshot that, by the way, is yours free down below. Not even asking you to be my affiliate. It is yours free. And then basically showing how you can tweak this rubric I've created to really mix and match with any sales process. Okay, so first things first, this is the pipeline here. You have new lead, contacted, booked, closed, and lost. And you can add more stages I'm gonna show you later and really how to make this fit your sales process. But this general building block is gonna be perfect for anyone. So the first real step in this process is having leads. Okay, so when someone submits a form or does anything, they come right into new lead. And we do that with this one, which is stage one, new lead. And that is this automation right here. The first thing you want to do is define your trigger. So every business is different, okay? But most businesses will have a form submission. That could be a Facebook form submission, a TikTok form submission. You can add trigger and you could do Facebook, and then you'll see right here, it says Facebook lead form submitted. And you can add this in, and you can do this with so many other lead forms where as soon as someone fills it out, it's immediately going to come in, okay, to this stage, which is critical. So first things first, you want to go in here and you want to make sure form is whatever form that you're using. It could be your website form, whatever form you're using. You want to click this right here and select it. Then from there, you want to come down and make sure that right in here, you click in sales pipeline and you click new lead. This already should be filled out in the snapshot, but just in case it isn't, or you're adding extra stuff, you want to put this in. And by the way, I'm going to demo this at the end of the video to show you how clean this is. But the whole goal is as soon as someone submits a form, it brings them in, plugs them into this pipeline, creates the opportunity, and then immediately sends them an email, which could be a welcome email and a bunch of other stuff. You're gonna wanna make sure that you have the proper email sent out. Again, I don't know what you're doing. That's up for you to decide your sales process. Again, drop a comment if you have any questions on this. But you put in your name, your from email, and you plug in the exact email, which would be like, welcome, new lead, blah, 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 whatever your sales process is. And then from there, this is going to lead us to stage two in here, which is contacted. So when they come right into here, they will automatically be moved here if they come in here and the email is open, okay? Really important. And you can kind of change this slightly, but you want your leads to automatically move based on certain events. That way you know who's hot, okay, who's a hot lead ready to buy with intent, and who is a cold lead that needs to be followed up with multiple times. So as soon as the new lead comes in, okay, this email gets launched and it moves into stage two, which is contacted. That is if they open it, okay, it then moves them to contact. So if we come right in here, it'll be email trigger, email opened, and the event will be open, and then you'll do in workflow and then pick S1 new lead. This already should be set up, but just in case it's not, make sure it does that. And then right down here, it's going to come in, it's going to go into the sales pipeline, and it's going to move them to, you guessed it, contacted. This is so important to know where your leads are in the sales process. Now, you can tweak this slightly. Your event may be different. It could be replied to email, all kinds of different stuff, which you can just click right in here and you can play with the events right in here. So that is just dependent on your sales process. This is like so important because so many people in their pipelines, they'll just have new leads and they don't know if people are taking steps forward or steps back. And they're losing sales because they don't have this automated. And then they're manually going through and going, well, I think John is qualified, but I think he's not. Here's the thing. From here, from contacted, okay, in your sales process, depending on how many follow-ups you have, which we're going to get into beefing this up later, so just hold your horses. But once this is contact and say they booked a call because you have a follow-up system sending them emails, that is going to move on. Number 3, which is booked. So once they have booked a call, okay, it is then going to move them into booked. This is really important because this is one of the things that really determines if they are a lead or not. Because if they're not a hot lead and they're just in the contact stage, you're not going to know. So as soon as you send out the email, the SMS, it's like, book your call. Once they book, and it's going to come right in here, trigger is in calendar strategy call, whatever calendar you have, and they book it, it's immediately going to come down and automatically move them to booked. And that is going to really start determining what leads are hot and what are not. Once they are booked, which is a big event, you're then going to want to send them a proposal or however you do your sales. Is that in person? Is it Zoom? Is it a phone call? Once you do that or you send them a link, it's going to move on to the next stage, okay, which is right in here, which is closed. So if you come right in here, trigger payment received, you pick whatever, how you're collecting payment. Once that gets triggered and you get paid, it's then going to move them into closed. So it's going to come right back into the sales pipeline and go, okay, we sold them, we sold John, and it automatically is going to move into closed. 2 really important things. First, this little stage change right here is one of the most critical. One of the big reasons is that when you move from book to closed, you now have people that are now buyers, which means they are customers, which means you can collect reviews from them, okay, surveys, sell them more products. It's a whole new kind of lead. Because remember, when you sell someone, for the most part, they're not just sold and done. They're actually a new lead, sales 101. Now that they come in here, really important because this brings in the whole new realm of reputation management, all these other services that you're going to be using. And then the second really important part of this is onboarding. So I'm going to link a video at the end of this video is going to show you how to use AI to automate your onboarding. This is where this is just killer. Because as soon as they are paid and you send them a thank you and you onboard them or whatever your process looks like, it could be, hey, here's how to get started, or can you make sure your toilet's clean so we can fix it, or whatever you're doing. This is immediately how you can bring them in and then automate this so it's one more thing that's automated. So that your guys or whatever service you're working for, all they have to do is just wait for instructions as opposed to like going in and then messaging people back and forth and calling people, which guys wastes a lot of time. You can then just skip all this and then you get straight to work. When that's done, we move on to the last stage, okay, which is lost. So if you had the call, you went through and the lead is lost and they're like, well, we didn't want your stuff. You want a way to move them to lost. And the way you're going to do this is by adding a contact tag, which is lead lost, which is in the snapshot. Okay, which you're going to have to add manually. This part isn't automated for this video just because everyone's sales process is different. Leads may say something different. Your sales process may look different. But once you add that, your whole goal is to then make sure that they go into lost. And then an email goes out and says, thank you for your time. Again, all this is already all set up. But this is important because a lot of these people, it weeds the good leads from the bad. Now, these people can always be followed up later if you want to make sure. But if someone gives you a hard no, like, I am not interested, I already have marketing, or I already have this, it's a good way to segment because a lot of people, they mix bad leads with hot leads. And then they all start to blend in, and then you're contacting the wrong people. And it's really bad because you're wasting money and time on emails and SMS. So really, really important in your sales process to make sure you're weeding out those leads that absolutely do not belong there, and then keep the hot leads in their own respective categories. So that is how this process works very simply. So now what I want to show you is going to the next level, because as you see here, this is just a basic building block, a basic rubric, which anyone can use. But what you can do now is you can beef this up like crazy. So the first thing is you can come into pipelines right in here, and you can click this right here, and you can add as many stages as you want. People responding, and you want to add in responded. If you want to add in send review request, whatever you want, however your sales process looks, you want to add that in here, okay? Because here's one of the things I'm going to show you how to do. With this building block I've given you and the snapshot, you can take any of these, come right in here, click duplicate workflow, And then you have basically the same thing where you can just switch up a couple basic things and then you can just add in as many steps as you want. Because again, everyone's sales process is different. I can't create a universal sales process because everyone's in different industries, everyone has different stuff, but it's the same sort of thing. So what I'm showing you how to do is I'm showing you how to fish. You see what I'm saying? You can use this process in any sales process, and then you have it done and dialed. And if you're niche down, you can copy this snapshot and then you have it again and again for every single business you work through. So if we come to new lead, one of the things you can do is you can add as many follow-ups as possible. So you can add this into and integrate it into your official sales process. So it's like it continues to send them email, SMS, and you just add that by clicking this right here and then typing in SMS or whatever you do right here. And then that way you have it fully built out, and it could be like a wait action where if they don't respond to this time, send another thing. That way it's hammering your leads as they come in. That way you're making sure that it's forcing people to the next stage, which is contacted or replied or whatever your sales process looks like, so you can start getting people and moving them through this process. Same thing with contacted, same thing with booked. If you're coming right in here and you're blasting people with emails, it could be an email saying book a call, which would basically force them to book an appointment. Then that way you're constantly moving as many leads to booked as possible. It's the same thing with closed, with the trigger payment received, and all of this other good stuff. You can add as many things as you want, or you come in here, copy, and you can just basically plug these into your other automations so you can create one universal sales process. Because I'm going to move on to the last part, which is demoing this now, so I can just show you how simple and basic this is. But real quick, before we do that, I just want to let you know, if you want more help with this, more like one-on-one help, trainings and all this stuff, just to really master high level, I have a free partnership you can join. You can just go right down below by signing up with that 30-day free trial link. Okay, not 14 days, 30-day free trial. And you get access to me, snapshots, courses on how to sell high level, courses on how to master high level, courses on AI, private community, live coaching calls every week, snapshots in almost every vertical, agency snapshots, automations. Like, it has everything. Again, if you're a little hesitant, go look at the testimonials down by clicking that link and you'll be blown away. But again, all of that stuff that I just said is free if you're using high level under me. So check that out. It's incredible. And again, you just click that link right down below. Okay, so now it is time for me to demo this process. So first starts up with a new lead, okay, which is doing a form submission. So come right into the form you have set up. We're just going to do Declan, last name O'Reilly. We're just going to do 0890988. Okay, we're going to do email, which will be Declan. I just want to do this. We'll do this, and then we're going to click this. So now that I've completed the form, we then go back. Okay, we need to refresh the page, but there it is. It immediately got pulled in to your pipeline. If you guys are getting a frick load of leads and there's just so many coming through, you have to have this set up. If you have a couple leads coming through, you can wing it doing it manually. But if you have a ton of people filling out your forms and it's overwhelming, this is possibly one of the best things you can do because it will make everything work so much smoother. Okay, so now that we have our new lead, if you remember, what did it do? It sent us that initial email. Again, you can stack as many emails you want. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to my Gmail and see if we got it. And look at that, it is the first one that popped up. So we click this and we're like, yo, look at that. This is awesome. This is amazing. We now have it. Now, if we come back here, okay, and we refresh this and look at that, it is now moved, okay, to contact. So now we wanna book a call and see if it moves from there. So we're like, okay, sweet. We come right in here. We see customer book call, calendar, strategy call. We have the calendar right here. We're going to click this right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to type in Declan. We're going to type in O'Reilly. We're going to type in 0897-988. And then we're going to do this bad boy right here. Okay. Test. And then we're going to click confirm. And we're going to click schedule meeting. Because now what we want to do is we want to make sure that once we go through here, once we book that call, it then moves it automatically as well. So we come right in here and we click refresh and boom, look at that. How awesome is that? It now moves automatically. Okay, so real quick, again, I know I've said this so many times, but like this may not look super impressive right now. Like, oh, cool. It just automatically moves the leads from stage to stage as opposed to me just dragging them. And I'm telling you guys again, a lot of businesses have a ton of leads. And if you actually have a sales process where you're making a lot of money or even just like mid six figures, which is most businesses, you got to have this set up. It may not seem impressive now because we're doing this with one lead, but I am telling you, when you have over 10 leads a week, even 5 leads a week, which is very low, this is like such a time saver because if you see when this is just stacked with leads and you're like, wait, what? Are they good? Oh yeah, Jim, did they contact you? Did they reply? No, they didn't. I was asleep. Well, why were you asleep? And you're arguing, and then you're moving these and then some don't move manually. It's a nightmare. So again, what I'm trying to show you is when you've got that volume volume, this is such a time saver. It also make you way more money because you'll know where everyone is in your process. Then it's like, okay, we see there's a breakdown at contacted. We need to send more follow-ups to get them to book the calls. From there, you just optimize the sales process. Then you start selling more people. Like, guys, this is how you make a lot of money. You automate things and you make sure it's clean. Okay. So from there, okay, we then move on to the next part, which is closed. So for this video, I'm not going to do this mainly because I don't have a product set up because this is a test. I have tested this before. It works just the same. But as soon as someone pays said invoice, okay, like right in here, they pay it, it moves to closed. And then it sends them the onboarding. Okay. So if we come right back to this bad boy, it just moves them to closed. I know you're like, wait a minute, what? You didn't do it automatically? Just because I don't have a product set up, I'm not going to, buy my own product. Really, for that, it is completely automated, I promise. You just go in and you make sure that you have this trigger set up to the exact product or service you're selling, and it moves them automatically. And this one's a big one because you want to make sure this then leads into your onboarding sequence. This is like so important because if you can automate every single step of the way for these businesses, they will cry if you leave them, which means you can upsell them and charge them as much as you want, or relatively as much as you want. But this is like, I see so many people that are like, I don't have a good sales process and I don't really have a good onboarding experience. It's because so much of the stuff they do is so manual. And when you get a lot of leads, manual becomes so hard, even if you have a full-time employee, because you don't know where stuff's at and stuff gets confusing and then the opportunity value gets like lost and you're like, what is going on? So then move on to the last part, which is if they get on the call and they don't like it or however your sales process works and they're like, we hate you, go away. It then moves to lost, which is critical because if you're contacting people that hate you and they're like, do not disturb, and you're still finding ways to contact them, it can hurt your email reputation. So you want to make sure the people that are not interested, like, and I don't mean like someone giving you a soft objection. I mean people that are like, F off, get out of my life, like go away. Like people that are clearly not the right fit. You want to make sure you add this. So what happens then is that you would come right into contacts. You would click this, and this is for your sales process. And there are ways to truly automate this. It's just, it depends on your sales process, and I can't have a universal way to do this. But whoever's on the phone is going to come right in here and go lost lead, and then come in here, and you're going to click lead lost. You're going to click add tags. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come right back here, and we're going to refresh this bad boy. Boom, here we are. It is now in here, and you see the tag has been added. So again, there are ways to automate that. The why I couldn't fully automate that is just because everyone's sales process is different. If it's all text-based, it's very easy to do it because you can say to an AI chatbot or employee, like if they say this and they go through this criteria, have this tag added. So it can be fully automated. It's just, again, I can't put in certain things when everyone's sales process is slightly different. And that's where the customization comes in. So that's it in a nutshell, guys. This is completely free. All of this, the entire snapshot right here with this pipeline and all of these automations is down below completely free. I'm not asking for anything. Go check it out. This may not seem big to some of you guys, but I know the people that have bigger sales processes or you're working with people that need dialed in sales processes. I'm telling you right now, this will be like one of the biggest stress relievers and time savers ever. It also will ensure that your clients keep paying you longer if you set it up properly, which is like, I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of you having an insurance policy, quote unquote insurance policy for them to keep paying you. Because a lot of you guys, you'll set up something like a basic website or a basic automation where they don't really need it. And then they're like, whatever, we'll leave. If you set this up properly, like I showed you, and all of this stuff is automated, if they're ever like hesitant about working with you and then you leave and then they have to do this all manually, it's instant pain. Okay. Again, this is a big concept, but like certain things, the pain is not instantaneous enough, big enough for them to really care. They're like, oh, he was doing local. I don't see a difference anymore. We fired him. But if it's like, yeah, we don't really want to work with you anymore. And then all of a sudden, this entire sales system stops. And then the next day, they're like, shit, where are the leads? Like, we're having to manually follow up. It's like an instant gut punch. Okay. It immediately is like, oh my God, this is so annoying. And a lot of the time when there's money on the table and they're losing money and they have to spend a bunch of time, they'll immediately be like, all right, call them back. We don't want to lose this. So again, this is so important. I know to some of you, this may not seem that big, but it's huge because what I'm giving you here in this snapshot can be added in and built on. You can easily add all this stuff. You can come in and duplicate these, add so much more. This is something that took me way too long to understand because I spent so much time focusing on the wrong things. When I started dialing sales processes, it is magical because everyone saves time and you make more money. It's that simple. So please use this snapshot. Even do this for your basic clients to get warmed up with it. Just start with a small sales process, even your agency sales process. When a new lead comes in, they immediately come in here. If you're selling websites, whatever, that way all of this is taken care of. So you do not have to manually be going in and playing and moving stages. The system can do the work for you, which saves you time and makes you money faster if you do it properly. And one last thing, okay, before we go, is if you want to truly beef this up, you can throw the old AI agents in. Now, I'm not going to go too much in depth on this because I have other videos on this, but this is how you can absolutely go attack mode on this. And that is by adding in AI chatbots, AI voice agents, and all kinds of stuff. This is where it just gets like, whoa, like this is how you can seriously scale. Because if you're doing stuff, okay, text-based, say all of your sales mostly coming through people texting you, if you send an AI chatbot to do the work, you can not only get rid of an employee, but it works 24/7. Even weekends, holidays, etc. So it's like you just added like this robot to do all of the work for you, which is like so important. This can absolutely turbocharge everything you have. So thank you for watching the video. You're awesome. I hope you keep pushing and I hope these videos help you. And if you want to be helped a little more by these videos, there's a video at the end of this video, which is how to use AI and automations to completely automate your onboarding process, which is amazing. You got to check it out. It's like next level stuff. And that's linked at the end below. So make sure you check that out. And if you're interested in high level and learning more from me and everything I have to offer, there's that 30-day free trial link down below. Sign up for it. Check it out. Get you in the community. You're going to love it. Okay, it's awesome. But again, I seriously think you got to watch the video that pops up at the end of the screen because it could change everything for you. I'll see you in the next video.